prospect. 6'10", no, rather 7 foot, with 35% shooting from behind the arc.
5-3, Boise State leading Fresno State. We welcome those of you who have been watching UNLV upset Colorado State in Fort Collins tonight. A huge win for Kevin Kruger's running Rebels. And here another one just underway in the Mountain West, which should be a great battle. And Fresno State a chance to tie in the early going. Do you expect that one tonight, that result in Fort Collins?
Absolutely not. Colorado State's been playing so well at home. Nico Medved has himself a special squad. Every dog has its day, right?
Right. Take a look at the Mountain West standings. We'll update them right now with that UNLV win over Colorado State. 7-0 for the Broncos of Boise State. They're 7-0 in conference play. Wyoming next, 5-1. Colorado State will play Wyoming Monday.
Well, I mean,
border war game in Laramie.
Yeah, I mean, those standings right there just show you that the team that we have tonight, Boise State on the road, they're in complete control of this conference.
And steal by Shaver.
One thing I love about this Boise State squad is they're old, they're experienced, they have length, they're versatile, they're one of the best defensive teams in the conference. This team could go really far. Coach Leon Rice has himself a very special squad.
Jab fires it inside for Degenhardt, and he has his shot blocked by Robinson. Robinson taking it down the floor. You see, pretty close series all in all between these two teams. Boise State has the advantage, 25-22. So Robinson will pick up his first personal foul.
I mean, that's huge for Boise State. And you hear the crowd here. They don't like the call. Orlando Robinson is so key to this squad. At 19 points per game. You know, gets it done on the rebounds and assists as well. But you want to try to get him in early foul trouble if you're Boise State. I know for Boise State, though, they're concerned about guarding him. And Mladen Armish down inside, he's the best guy to defend him. So whoever gets in foul trouble between those two could be bad news for that squad.
Aycott, bounce pass to Abu Kijab, lost the handle on it. Robinson takes over. Bounce pass to Hill. Now Kijab with the job going one-on-one against Robinson, and Robinson wins that battle, ties the game.
And that's a pro move. Look, you just saw him knock down a three-point shot. Now he gets the ball in the block, lulls his defender to sleep by doing a little slide dribble to the middle, and then flinging down to the other side and laying it in.
Good shot by Shaver. Rebound taken down by Colomario. First 4 minutes of play, 5-5 here in Fresno. Robinson gives it to Anthony Holland. Holland coming off a 22-point game against New Mexico on Tuesday. Robinson one-hands it out to Holland. 2 seconds on the shot clock, fade away. And the rebound to Aycott.
One thing I'm noticing here in this game is you see Boise State, they're looking to push the basketball up. That's a beautiful shot there. Off the bounce too by Emmanuel Aycott. They're going to look to push the ball up the floor, see if they can get some easy transition points. But if not, they have so many weapons in the half court. They got a great offensive set, 4-around-1 motion, along with all those motion sets that they run. A lot of weapons that can knock down shots around the perimeter.
Robinson kicks it outside. Holland is cut off. Back to Robinson. He's doubled up. And now Holland with 3 seconds on the timer. Rebound pulled down by Armish, Mladen Armish, 6'10" Serbian. You mentioned, Richie, this is an old team, more of a veteran team, a lot of experience. You add Degenhardt into the lineup. But the rest of these guys have had a lot of experience, including guys coming off the bench like Max Rice. 2 seconds on the timer. Step back three will be well short. And Robinson comes up. It did not hit the rim. That's a shot clock violation. And a timeout on the floor. Boise State Got their hands full with Orlando Robinson, but they lead it 8-5 early. Well, it is handsome night here in Fresno as Victor E. is on hand. Looking at his favorite Fresno Bulldogs. Oh. Justin Hudson in his 4th season on the bench. Longtime assistant twice at San Diego State, once under Dave Rice at UNLV. Of course, with the great Steve Fisher at San Diego State. He's done a great job in his head coaching role here at Fresno.
Well, you know, he handled the defense at San Diego State all those years. They were so good. He's brought it here to Fresno State.
And Leon Rice visiting there with referee Randy McCaw. Leon in his 12th season. 233 and 141. He has been piling up wins in Boise.
Well, I think he has, if not his most talented team, he might have his best team here this season. And what a run. Haven't lost a game since November.
I know.
That's incredible.
It's incredible to think about.
Yeah.
They've got the longest streak in the country, only behind Auburn at this point in time. 13 straight. So Orlando Robinson backing in against Degenhart now. Turnaround jumper is good. Makes it a 1-point game.
So dynamic. We've seen him make moves in the post, a fadeaway jumper on the baseline, and a 3-pointer from the top of the key. He is special. Again, he's 7 feet tall.
Can't teach that. But the other things you can teach, and he's a good student.
Love that.
Akon up top. Max Rice is in the game, coach's son. He'll spot one up from deep and just off the mark, and Robinson on the rebound.
Fresno State, they like to walk the ball up the floor. You know, they'll take fast break opportunities, but more often than not, they want to control the tempo, dictate it how they want to play, and beat you in the half court.
Offensive foul, and that is the 2nd foul on Orlando Robinson.
That is massive. Coach Hudson's going to have to take him out of the game. Wow. That's game-changing for Fresno State. They have a couple of guys that play behind them, but not nearly anywhere near the productivity of Orlando Robinson. See what he can do with the basketball in his hand. He's the only player on Fresno State's roster in double figures, and he's at 19 points per game.
He fouled out just 1 time this season, and that was against Pepperdine. Armish underneath. His shot redirected. Battle for the loose ball is won by Anthony Holland. And we welcome our audience on FS1, watching Boise State and Fresno State from the Mountain West Conference with Richie Schuler. I'm Tim Never. Glad you're with us. Watching college basketball tonight from the Central Valley in California. There's Holland trying to get around Akon. He pulls up around him and hits. And Fresno State in the lead for the first time.
So Orlando Robinson had scored all their 7 points before that shot right there. Now, keep in mind, just a couple of days ago, Fresno State was down at New Mexico, and Orlando had gotten hurt. And who stepped up? It was Anthony Holland, who had career-high 22 points in that game. He's picking up right where he left off.
Armish. And now Shaver with the basketball. His shot well short. Holland, the loose ball. Boise State is in a drought of more than 3 minutes now in terms of scoring. Now it's Isaiah Hill. He knocks down the 3. And the Bulldogs with a 12-8 lead.
Didn't take him very long to figure out who's going to score with Robinson out of the game, did it? Oh, look at this pressure. Oh!
Forcing a turnover, something that Fresno State does very well. They forced 102 first-half turnovers in their last 12 games, and another one. They've got the lead, 12-8. Bulldogs giving him something to cheer about early in the first half. 12-8, 11:44 remaining. And with Orlando Robinson out of the game, they went to the outside, and Holland got this going.
That's an area they can be effective. Holland can really fill it up, and then Who else was it? Not Holland, but Isaiah Hill knocking down a 3-point shot. That was on back-to-back possessions, and then they go full court on defense, and it rattles Boise State into a turnover, and they're on a run right now. Fresno State's looking good, man.
One big number for Fresno State, Richie, is the fact that they're averaging 8.5 turnovers in the first half this year. And when we talked to Leon Rice, the head coach of Boise State today, he said that was one of his main concerns. He said they can turn you over. So they wanted to make sure they protected the basketball, but pressured into a turnover there. And now the Bulldogs back with another possession.
But I like how Boise State came out of this timeout and they applied some full court pressure to try to make it a little bit difficult coming out of the timeout. But I am curious, where is the scoring going to come from consistently? They can't just rely on outside shooting. Fresno State's going to have a post presence throughout the course of the game.
Donovan Yap with the basketball, a transfer from UNLV now in the game. And Robert Viola remains in for Robinson, and Yap with a miss. See the net rankings right now. Boise State at 39, Fresno State 59, so pretty good shape at this point in time. Kicked out top of the key and shot good. And making the basket was Najee Smith, senior out of Spokane, Washington.
See how Boise State moves that ball. It was on both wings. It was in the corner. It was at the top of the key. And move that ball around, loosen up the defense, and look for the best possible shot available.
Mario, the lobby inside, and there's Anthony Holland. 14-11.
So many guys that do a good job of moving off the basketball, away from the ball. That's how you can be really good. You only have the ball in your hands so much during the game. Move away from the basketball. You'll open up plays for yourself and your teammates.
Degenhart, little block, doubled, could not get the roll, and the rebound to Destin Whitaker. You look at Boise State's run here of 13 games. It's been pretty impressive because they have had to win on the road at places that they really haven't bunched wins together before.
Yeah. Won at San Diego State, at Utah State, down the pit at New Mexico against the Wolfpack.
Here's Akot, one-handed pass. Kijab back to Akot. Abu Kijab with it. Kijab. Back to Smith. Kijab, little jump step to the lane. And a rebound to Fresno State. Holland with another. Holland out of Riverside, California, a junior. It's funny, you talk to Holland and Orlando Robinson and Abu Kijab. They all have something in common. They all have said recently they want to be the defensive player of the year in the conference.
I love that. When you have a player on your team that strives to be defensive player of the year, you know you're going to get maximum effort from one of your best players, if not your best player.
Rice wide open, look at a three. And Max Rice knocks it down.
You know, I love that for Max Rice. He started out really slow shooting the basketball this season, came off a couple of surgeries in the offseason, but now it's 3 straight games that Max Rice has knocked down a 3-point shot. Couldn't have come at a better time as they're really hot right now and trying to extend this win streak.
14 all, Fresno State and Boise State. Max Rice with the game-tying three-pointer. Wide open look here, Richard.
That was great. I mean, it's what it's all about for a good shooting team is they get the penetration going, they draw on the defense, and they kick out to a wide open shooter. And like I said, it's a good thing for Boise State. He started out really slow. He broke his foot last year in the Mountain West tournament. He missed the rest of the tournament, missed their NIT run, had hip surgery along with that foot surgery in the offseason, and he's finally starting to come into his own as of late.
And a steal, and heading to the bucket is Shaver for the basket. And Boise State has the lead by 2.
You can't pass up. You can't pass north like that. If you're on the wing, you can't pass to the top of the key or up towards half court, because if there's a good denying team like there is right here, hands in the passing lane, that's going the other way every single time.
Anthony Holland got the worst of it for Fresno State. Full court pressure. from the Broncos. Isaiah Hill brings the ball up the floor, hands off to Deion Stroud, who sees his first time in the ball game. Left-handed lay-in is good by Jordan Campbell. Transfer from Oregon State. What a shot.
Oh, man, Comey has really improved this season. He uses that upper body strength to finish around the rim and with contact.
Smith finding Shaver inside Degenhardt. He's slow block now on the left. Viola guarding it. Backing in. The block. Viola with the block. And it's out of bounds and a timeout with 7:47 left in the first half. Tied at 16. And Jordan Campbell strong to the hoop, changing hands. Now the student section happen to be populated here tonight. 16-16, Boise State, Fresno State. And we saw Deion Stroud come in the ball game. Again, the New Mexico Lobos saw him up close and personal. Watch this. I'm sure the poster's on order already.
Yes, I'd order one of those. Wow, look how explosive he is. I mean, he has always been a fun player to watch. And I remember reading on him that he always wanted to try to model his game after, I'll tell you, the great Fresno State former player, Paul George.
Pretty good guy to model it after.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this season, 6.7 points a game, 2.4 rebounds. He's come off the bench tonight. Came off the bench at the Pit and really lit it up on Tuesday. So tie game at 16. Rice off the screen. Had a moment, but Isaiah Hill closed on him defensively. Long three at the buzzer is good as Abu Kijab knocks it down and gives the Broncos a 3-point lead.
That was contested. Kijab coming into the game, 22% from three, but knocking it down when it counts.
Kijab, what a nice kid. We had a chance to visit with him today. What an interesting kid. There's a block by Smith. Bounce pass to Kijab. A finger roll is good.
Fun to watch. 3-point shot with his hand in his face. Comes down the floor and then he knocks down a shot in transition. But he told us that he grew up in Sudan up until he was about 9.5 years old and then moved to Canada before making it to the USA later through high school.
A runner good off the left hand by Jordan Campbell. 3-point game now with 6:45 to go in the half. For Boise State, Kijab getting into the offense. When you look at their roster right now, the way it's constructed, you don't know how things are going to pan out in the offseason, but he would be the only guy they would expect to lose at this point in time. Smith back outside, Rice back to Kijab. They got to throw it up, but the timer expired, and it's good.
That's twice.
My goodness.
That's back-breaking. You know, Fresno State, we've talked about how great a defense they are. Coach Justin Hudson has brought that mentality to Bulldog country here. But when you play 29 seconds of terrific defense and you got a hand in the face of the guy shooting a desperation three, that is a backbreaker. It's deflating for a team who's working so hard on the defensive end.
Najee Smith now with 6 points. Here's Holland. Picks up the dribble, turns around, fires, and that one's picked up by Kijab. Kijab down the lane, contact, and looks like this is going to be an offensive foul.
Called offensive? It did. Wow. Well, I tell you, Kijab's done some great stuff. Look at this, hand in his face, no time on the shot clock, knocks it down, and then runs in transition. This is the very next play, showing again his versatility, his athleticism. And then, hey, you want to hit some threes? Najee Smith in the corner. Again, the buzzer beater on the shot clock. That's this run. That's the separation that we're seeing here in the score. It was just tied up a few moments ago.
Coming off an 18-point performance against the Cowboys of Wyoming. First time that Boise State and Fresno State met up this year, Kijab had just 6 points. He's got 6 already. In the middle, it's taken away by Kijab. Right man in the right spot for Boise State. Manuel Aycott. Bounce pass to Armish. Irish backing you. Double. Kicks it out. Acott's got it. Plenty of time to shoot. Key jab held up. Held ball situation. The possession arrow favors Boise State.
Calling the foul. Look at this. You don't think these teams want to win here? On the floor, diving. Guys, that's terrific. I love that.
The foul will be on Jordan Campbell. So the possession arrow stays right where it is. See it favoring Boise State. Server out to Acott. Armish inside.
Great
Kicks
pass.
it out to the corner. Smith. No good on the three. Ransom Mia is in the game down on the low post for Fresno State. 4:44 left first half. Here's Hill. Gives it back to Colomario. Corners it. And a shot taken and missed by Whitaker. So Boise State's looking for here, Richie, right, is more production in these transition situations.
Yes. I think they're trying to look to push the basket. Oh, no.
Ahead it goes. Campbell got the roll.
Thought he had himself a wide open slam. Fresno State looking to push the basketball. Look at this. I love when you got defensive teams going head to head.
Oh, great defensive possession, I guess you'd call it.
Oh, yeah.
Campbell again. Steps back. 17, the miss. Again, Boise State with a chance. Acott spots up for three. Got it.
Can't give him that much time. He's a 40% three-point shooter. They caught him in transition, but I mean, he could have had 2 cups of coffee waiting for the defense to come at him.
And that's how you spot it up in the backyard right there.
It's like, oh, you're not guarding me? Cool, I'll take a dribble.
Amish was thinking about reaching in for the steal.
This is kind of what we expected, though, right? Low scoring.
That's a three from Leo Colomario. 27-23, 4-point Boise State lead. Coming down to the 3-minute mark of the first half.
10 made three-pointers between both these teams.
And no free throws, by the way.
Incredible.
There's a scramble on the floor, and this will be a held ball situation. Boise State will have possession when we come back, but these teams are moving it up the floor. Jordan Campbell getting to the basket in traffic for Boise State. Acott putting the H on the board in horse. Just 2:53 remain in the first half. 27-23. Boise State leading Fresno State. This Mountain West Conference battle in Fresno tonight. And coming up at halftime, Rob Stone and Jim Jackson preview the Fox schedule tomorrow, including Indiana taking on Maryland and St. John's and Villanova. And Richie, how about Villanova this year? 15-5, 8-2 in the Big East.
Love it.
14th in the country. Villanova, they are back.
Yeah, absolutely they are.
Mike DeCourcy ranking his teams this week. New teams in the DeCourcy rankings. Boise State showing up along with Arkansas. App State is in there, all the way from Boone, North Carolina, and Colgate. So the Raiders make it this week.
You ever gone skiing in Boone, North Carolina?
I have not. I've only been there when there's been no snow. But I've been there a few times.
A lot of snow in Boone in the winter.
Yes, sir. If you could find it.
That's right.
I mean, Boone, that is. You can find the snow. There's a whistle right away as Boise State has possession. Acott will go back over to the sideline and inbound it.
I'm surprised really by the points in the paint statistic right now. Orlando Robinson for Fresno State scored their first 7 points, and then he got 2 fouls. And I thought with him being out, the 7-footer being out, who's now back in the game, I thought they would have scored more inside. They only got 4 points in the paint, Boise State, that is. I thought they'd look to attack that a little bit more. Just haven't converted.
Robinson backs off some. It's knocked out of bounds by Fresno State. Boise State will have it with just 3 seconds on the shot clock. So it'll be more or less a catch and shoot situation once they trigger the inbound. Max Rice will throw it in play. The lob for Acott. Back for Rice. He launches, but it's going to be well short and a shot clock violation.
I saw that coming, especially with the shot clock going down. Remember that the inbounder is often the most dangerous guy on the floor, especially with just a couple ticks, few ticks on that shot clock, oftentimes going right back to him on the wing or corner.
Again, you mentioned Robinson in the game. A couple of minutes to go in the first half. 2 fouls to save his final 3 fouls for the second half as Dion Stroud throws that one in.
Well, yeah, I mean, you never question it. I don't ever question a coach's decision. But, you know, a lot of coaches would elect to just keep him healthy and ready. The team's playing well. Just play him in the second half. Don't risk that 3rd foul with just a couple minutes to go. But, I mean, I think he knows the value of having him in the game at the end of the first half to carry some momentum into the second.
Step back jumper. No good by Acott. Number 147 now. Isaiah Hill to Robinson. Taking hard on him. Into the lane he goes. And the rebound by Emmanuel Acott. Acott's been all over the floor for Boise State. Marcus Shaver Jr. Defended by Hill. To Armish.
Oh, nice.
Give and go. And a foul underneath. And that'll be whistled against Anthony Holland of Fresno State.
I love what Marcus Shaver did there. He passed to his teammate, Armish, and then watch him leak back with that little backdoor cut. Ball screen, gives it to Armish after a little bobble, and then he just skips right to, look at that, little back door. That's beautiful. That's just high IQ basketball by Marcus Shaver.
First free throw of the game goes in.
If they make this free throw, sometimes you'll see Boise State pressure full court. Seen 1-2-2 in the past.
Knocks them both down. Shaver transferred from the University of Portland. He was the WCC honorable mention on the all WCC team, and he was on the all freshman team when he was there. Makes it a 4-point game at 29-25. Mario back to Holland, now Hill. Looking for Robinson. 8 seconds on the shot clock, less than a minute to go in the half. And the fadeaway, well short. Defended well by Boise State.
Very well. Yeah, I mean, he's taken 2 or 3 others before that. This one was the best defended one.
And those 2 teams met in Boise earlier this year. It was a 10-point lead at halftime. Fresno State had only scored 25 in that one. It was 35-25. And Isaiah Hill will pick up the foul for Fresno State.
When you say that, take a look at this defense right here. Like Fresno State going over top of the ball screen. Deflection, they're on the floor. And then they get another deflection that goes out of bounds. But in that first matchup between these 2 teams, Anthony Holland, number 25, who is their second leading scorer, he didn't play in that game. Him coming back into this game, he provides more length, another scoring punch, a guy that's going to rebound a little bit.
Acott off the front rim, and here's Hill. So the shot clock is dead. Fresno State can play for the final shot to try to get within 2 or 3.
Look for a ball screen with about 5 seconds to go. Spread the floor. See if he can get a drive to the basket or a shot. Here we go.
Last couple of games, Hill's been shooting nearly 60% from 3. He'll drive the basket, change hands, and Boise State will come down with a loose ball. That'll do it for the first half of play. 29-25, the Broncos with a 4-point edge at the half. It's been a big night for the 3-point shot. It's Rice lining one up. Acott also. 29-25 at the half in Fresno. Now Fresno State's Orlando Robinson getting into foul trouble early, but he does this. I mean, he can get to the basket in a lot of different ways.
Terrific footwork, great pivot. He's able to take it to the hole, use his body, Then if he wants to fade away, he can do that. He's just so talented in so many ways, knocking down three-point shots, but got in foul trouble.
Only played 8 minutes and 50 seconds in the first half, so we expect to see a lot more of him in the second half. For Boise State, well, they dialed long distance. They shot from behind the arc and shot it well.
It's really been the difference of the game. 7 of 13 from behind the arc, 7 3-pointers for 54%, and they spread that around. A few different guys knocking down some shots from the outside.
Emmanuel Acott, the leading scorer in the game, with 9 for Boise State. But you see the field goal percentage, 3-pointers. They've been there. That's 2 fewer 3-pointers that the Broncos have in the first half of this game than they had in the entire game the last time these two teams met.
And we talked earlier about not many points in the paint for the Broncos, but hey, why do you got to get in the paint if you're knocking down so many 3-point shots? But the contributions from Boise State's bench too, that's also been a huge lift for the Broncos.
Broncos are going after a school record 14 straight victories. They've had to go on the road in some tough places, and the Save Mart Center is a tough place. Bulldogs trail by 4 at the half. Well, they never forget Paul George in these parts, that's for sure. Boise State with a 29-25 lead as we get set to start the second half of play with Richie Schuler, Tim Never. Glad you're aboard with us on FS1 tonight, watching college hoops from the Mountain West Conference. And there is a new addition to the Boise State basketball family.
Who do you think that is? Yes, that is the new baby daughter of Mike Walsh, the Boise State media relations man. Very excited for him and his lovely wife. That's their second child. So congrats to Mike Walsh and Danielle. Wish he was here to hang out with us tonight.
I think he'd rather be there.
I think he would.
I think he made the right choice.
Selfishly. Maybe it was just bad timing on our part.
Congratulations to the Walsh family. And Mike's always such a big help in helping us get ready for the broadcast.
Terrific.
So Fresno State will have the ball to start things off here. Randy McCall hands Calamario the basketball. Hill's got it underway, second half.
You want to talk about how valuable that young man is to Fresno State? He scored 7 points in the first 7 minutes, and he's still the leading scorer for Fresno State squad. Make that 9 points as he's inserted back into the game.
Pretty one right off the window, and it's a 2-point lead for the Broncos.
I'm still excited about this matchup. We didn't get to see much of it, but him and Laden Armish down inside the paint battling. I think it's a terrific post-play matchup.
Taking care of the ball was a pretty big deal in the first half. Turnovers were low. Wide open look, and that's short off the rim. Now the bounce pass ahead, Calamario. Boise State only had 4 turnovers, and they've been under 10 in 3 of the last 5.
So right away, they go right down inside to Orlando Robinson. You saw what he did in the first half. We showed the replay just a minute ago. I just love his footwork. If he feels like he can take it to you, he will. He has a variety of moves. He has great feet. But if he needs to shoot a little fadeaway jumper, he can too. That way, look, that one right there looked like it was a little bit of both. A bit of body with the chest, but also a bit of a fadeaway shot.
Degenhardt short. Good defense right there by Leo Calamario. Calamario out of Brazil. Now Campbell had a pretty good flurry at the end of the first half. And a whistle. Looked like it was off the ball, and that'll be on Mladen Armish.
A little too physical down inside the paint. I think it was him and Orlando Robinson trying to battle, jockey for positioning. There it is right there. I mean, that's a physical. Nobody understands. Unless you're a post player, you have no idea how physical it is down there. It's forearms to your face, elbows going in your chest. Most of it goes uncalled.
Well, when you go to practice, and we're lucky we get to see practice now, you see some of the assistants who have these football-like pads.
Yeah.
And they're banging on the post players with those.
You know, the real reason they use those, because they don't want to get hit. That's their protection.
It's their protection.
Exactly.
Shaver to the basket. And Holland comes up with it for Fresno State. A chance to tie now for the Bulldogs. They'll look for Robinson underneath if they can get him. Holland, well, he'll run it himself, and Armish comes up with a rebound.
exactly what we expected with the score. Some people are flipping on the game now, and this is a yawner in their mind. But no, this is a defensive battle from some of the best defensive teams in the land.
Emmanuel Acott rattles into 3, and it's 32-27. Acott in double figures, 12 points. The last time Boise State lost a game was to the Billikens of St. Louis in overtime, 86-82 on the 30th of November.
It's incredible. That is incredible.
2 months.
You know, that was the first time that Tyson Degenhart got inserted into the lineup.
That one falls for Robinson, and he's now in double figures in 19 of his last 20 games.
These little mid-range fadeaways, I mean, he's buttered. It's unstoppable. He's got the wingspan, the length. He's able to shoot over a lot of different players.
Key jab well short, and that's out of bounds.
Orlando Robinson, man, he is terrific. Now Boise State, look, you can't leave Acott wide open like that. That's his 4th three-point shot that he's made in this game. And then Robinson does a good job of getting positioning, avoiding the defense, eluding it, and knocking down the mid-range shot, fade away in the paint.
Inside Robinson, kicks it out, Holland wide open. And a stick back by Colomario.
He got caught sleeping. It's too easy. Colomario right there for this putback. Nobody blocking him out. Wide open.
Colomario from a basketball family. His older brother Lucas is playing professionally in his home country of Brazil. 1 point lead. Boise State. And a foul will be called as they got it to Degenhart. And the foul will be on Colomario. That's his first.
So we talked about that putback just a minute ago from Fresno State. Look, the ball goes up, and look, you just see Colomario come right down the paint, untouched. Not even a hand on his body. Nothing to stop his movement to the basket. Wide open putback. It's way too easy.
And Degenhart. A miss, and here's Holland with a strong rebound. Long one, too. Fresno State gets the ball to Robinson, and he is fouled. So Armish picks up the foul. That'll be his third. A 1 point lead for the Broncos. February 6th, a storied venue that's seen everything but has never seen anything like this. NASCAR comes to the Los Angeles Coliseum for the very first Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. Sunday, February 6th, only on Fox. Well, Boise State with a 1 point edge right now, 32-31. And Milan Armish picks up his third foul of the game, and this is a key one.
I mean, look, he had to go out to the perimeter to defend Orlando Robinson. Now, Orlando Robinson for Fresno State can play anywhere on the floor. In the perimeter, in the paint, in the corner, at the top of the key, in the mid-post. So versatile. And Armish having to go out to the perimeter, close out. Orlando Robinson using that quick step to try to get that third foul. It worked. Now, that's a huge blow for Boise State. Armish is by far the best player on Boise State's roster to guard Orlando Robinson. He's now out of the game with 3 fouls.
And no points.
And he's just been playing outstanding the last couple of weeks. And his defense is dynamic. They're going to miss him here without him in the game.
Degenhart draws Robinson defensively, and the turnaround is right there, and that gives Fresno State the lead back, 33-32.
If I'm Coach Hudson, I mean, they've been doing it anyway, but I am directing my team. Let's look for every opportunity to get the ball, no matter where he's at, to Orlando Robinson. He is playing dynamic and scoring the ball.
Oh, he jabbed down the lane, scores it.
Love the backdoor cut by Kejad. That's just presence of mind. That's playing basketball. High IQ stuff right there. There's no set there. He realizes an open lane. He goes down it and feed him the ball.
Rob to Robinson. He's got 13, looking to add to it. Cut off, kicks it back outside to Hill. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Hill comes up short. Marcus Shaver Jr. He'll find some room. Well, Campbell comes up with the rebound for Fresno State. The Bulldogs moving the ball around the perimeter a little bit here. Right in this one.
Trying to get it down inside. Ball reversals, get it down inside to the big man. Look, he's just going to go right at him. There's no fear with him.
It's his own rebound, but it's stripped by Shaver. Pass ahead, key jab. And he'll commit the offensive foul, a turnover, and the ball back to Fresno State. Second foul on key jab.
Now you're seeing the Bulldogs. Look, they just keep feeding the beast down inside. They'll back you down. Go a little quick turnaround. It's just a beautiful, and then look at the back door here by key jab. Look, he realized it was a pick and pop. He wasn't open. He saw the defense overplaying, and he just goes back door. Great pass. I think that was Shaver with the assist.
Looked like Pete Carrill drew that play up.
Yeah, Princeton offense, baby.
Princeton. There's an offensive foul the other way. This will be called on Jordan Campbell, his second personal. And now the ball going back to Boise State.
This is good defense now. Look at Max Rice just get right in front of it, takes the hit. Coach's son, right? They always seem to have high IQ defensive abilities.
Well, he really developed quite a resume before he got to Boise State. Three-time first team All-Idaho in 4A. Twice he was the Southern Idaho Conference Player of the Year. So he really had the high school pedigree. Of course, Dad was coaching the big team. Now he's on it, doing quite well. Aycott thought about it. Second look at it, no good. Tap back out, but right in the way was Holland. And he will lay it up, and he's fouled. He'll head to the free throw line.
Love the aggressiveness by Holland. He sees an opportunity, one-on-one. Defense is on their heels and just takes him right to him. He's a spark plug, man. I like Holland's game. I like how Rice tried to keep it alive, but it went right into Holland's hands. Just splits traffic and takes it to the hole. I feel like Holland has really improved this season. He's a much improved offensive player, in my opinion. Still a strong defensive guy, but he's kind of that athletic glue guy, always reliable for the squad. Plays consistently on a regular basis for Coach Hudson's squad.
Holland, California, out of Riverside, went to Notre Dame High School, was his Division Player of the Year. His last year there, 2018. Won the John Wooden Award that is given out in his area as well.
Yeah.
Bulldog lead at 35-34.
Apply that full court pressure right after a free throw and make it difficult to bring the ball up. Takes a little time off the shot clock too. It's not all about just trying to force a turnover. A lot of times it's just about wasting their shot clock. Look, 19 seconds on the shot clock and they're barely getting into their offense. It took away all that time.
Dagenhart hands off to Shaver Jr. Back to Dagenhart. He'll get a hand in there. Now Max Rice, 6 seconds on the timer, kicks it out. Key jab. Missed, and the rebound to Viola. So Viola in there playing that 5 position, giving Orlando Robinson a break. A whistle off the ball. Key jab. Called for the foul. Let's take a look at the conference standings. They had a little bit of a bump today with UNLV upsetting Colorado State in a game you saw earlier on FS1, and then Colorado State and Wyoming play each other Monday. That's going to be a really good one. But Boise State still on top, unbeaten in conference play.
They're in complete control. Look, the second place team there was Wyoming. They just beat Wyoming a couple of days ago, 2-3 days ago. If they can come out of Fresno State victorious, I mean, they are completely in the driver's seat for a regular season title. They continue to play solid the rest of the way. Obviously, a long way to go, but they're in the driver's seat, no doubt.
And you're getting into that all-important month of February, too. When you talk about college basketball, there's a strip, but Viola gets it back. March is the most important month, and maybe a day or so in April. But it's February where you really make your hay.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing people for a second time. You know, that's when you really show. You might have beat them the first time. Can you beat them a second time? And on the road at that nice steal. Fresno State, man, that's what they do. They get so many steals against teams game in and game out. They're so good at deflections and steals to go the other direction.
Yeah, Boise now, one of their last 7. They've got a drought of over 3 minutes. Stroud. Long rebound to Shaver Jr.
Oh, wow.
Long pass up ahead. Acott's got it. Kicks it out. Degenhardt. He knocks down the 3. Now Boise State with a 2-point edge.
A lot of weapons on both these sides that can shoot the 3-point ball.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, too, that the Broncos, since inserting Degenhardt into the starting lineup, they're 13-1.
I know. And that one loss was, what, 14 games ago? So that was against St. Louis. It was at home. Hard-fought battle against a terrific team. And they've rattled off 13 straight ever since. Their chemistry is dynamic.
Holland to the bucket. He scores. And he is fouled. Tie game, 37-37.
I love how Anthony Holland is so relentless to the basket. A loose ball. Holland's there to get it. Finishes strong. And now, timeout game.
Sunday, the NFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax Live is on Fox with a clash between California rivals. Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers, take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams for a trip to Super Bowl 56. It all kicks off 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. That game in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, which also just so happens to be hosting the Super Bowl.
No, it's 4 miles from where I live. I can walk there. This is beautiful, though. Degenhardt finally gets on in the stat sheet with his first bucket of the game. 1 of 6 now from the field. Degenhardt, you talked about how valuable he's been. He's been in the starting lineup, and man, you're going to need him down the stretch here tonight.
Well, we're coming down to the halfway mark of the second half, and it's anybody's ball game. We expected a good one. We're getting a good one. Rice dead on 3 look. Oh, Max Rice with another 3 ball.
And so notice now, Armish back in the game for Boise State. Orlando Robinson back in the game. So here we are with that post-play matchup down inside. It's great defense on the ball screen by Armish.
Robinson in and out of the 3.
The coaching staff just kind of raves about how well Armish has done.
Rice another 3, and that's well off the mark.
They're starting to heat up here a little bit, isn't it?
He's got 2 threes. That's a season high for him. Ties it. I asked Leon last year about, coaching your son. He says, well, when he's at practice, he's just number 12.
I like that.
I saw him talking today on the court.
But the coach's sons always know exactly what their father wants. Or mother.
Campbell in and out.
Max Rice is the guy that knows it doesn't always have to be shooting the basketball, but offensively, where everybody's supposed to be, defensively, where everybody's supposed to be. Helps with the chemistry of the team. The message from the head coach, who happens to be a parent, down. Oh, nice double team by Fresno State. He's got to get rid of it.
Armish skips it out. 3 ball again from Rice. Then Campbell, the rebound for Fresno State. Fresno State bringing it down the floor. They are 1 of their last 9, Richie.
Orlando Robinson just came back in the game. He sat out for a little bit. Been riding that hot hand.
Donovan Yap charging. Oh, good. 1 for their last 10.
It's a great shot right there to kick out after a missed rebound.
Campbell the miss. Still battling. And it looks like Armish is going to get called for the foul. And if that's the case, that's his 4th.
It's a big blow for Boise State, but that's his 4th foul. He's trying to plead his case to the official.
So Armish has to check out here and get a rest. So the big man not in, but Rice getting some looks.
So what makes him a great player is a lot of guys can catch and shoot with their feet set and hands ready. Max Rice there faked like he was going right, got the defense to jump, goes left and knocks down the three-point shot off the bounce.
8:50 to go, second half. 40-37, Boise State. Well, Orlando Robinson, he has been showing off his skill set here in this game tonight.
Take note, he loves that same block every single time. Goes against Degenhart, that time against Kejab. He did some business against Armush. And here he is again against Degenhart. Crafty footwork. You don't know if he's going to go middle. Is he going to go baseline? Is he going to bounce the ball? Is he going to slide, dribble, and turn on you? Or is he going to go fade away? Plethora of moves. And that's what makes him so good and dangerous. He reads the defense. What the defense gives him, he looks to attack, and you can tell he's practiced that. He spends extra attention to detail in getting those shots in.
There's Hill. Deion Stroud. Stroud has a lane to the basket and he hammers it home.
Wow!
Boy, take a picture of that. My goodness.
It's 2 games in a row where he's had a posterized dunk. Incredible athleticism.
Well, Boise State trying to counter, still with a 1-point lead. Shaver, he lays it up, and that's no good. That is ripped down by Robinson. Well, that got this crowd on their feet, one of the larger crowds they've had in quite a while here at Save Mart Center. Robinson is guilty of the offensive foul. That'll be foul number 3 on Robinson. But Deion Stroud got this crowd on their feet. Let's listen. One-point game, second half, 7:54 remaining in it. Along with Richie Schuler, Tim Neverett. Above courtside here at the Save Mart Center, and the Broncos have been beating everyone, right? So in terms of conferences, 7 different conference wins in the course of this 13-game winning streak.
Winning games across the country, are they not?
Yes, and of course Montana Tech.
Yeah.
Right.
Non-Division I.
Right. They are the. They looked up their nickname. I didn't know it. The Ore Diggers.
But can you tell us what an ore digger is?
That's something to do with mining.
I wish somebody would tweet us and let us know.
I saw a picture of their football helmet. It had the pickaxes that were crossed.
Of course. So definitely mining them.
But anyway, they get beaten up on 7 different conferences. Here's Rice to the basket. And Max Rice is good for 2.
Play him as a shooter. He can beat you off the bounce. You know, one of the most impressive stats to me in this game here tonight is how points in the paint, Fresno State has dominated that. In rebounding as well. Fresno State's winning that battle.
Yeah. The first time these 2 teams met, they had a close game too, with a little over 5.5 minutes remaining, just around where we're in the neighborhood of. Is Hill in and out. They were tied at 50, but Boise went on a 15-5 run to end that game and put it away for a victory.
Offense has got to move and the ball's in the paint. That's stagnancy right now.
Long 3 attempt is no good from Kejab. Looks like Boise State needs a bit of a break. Marcus Shaver Jr. walking over to the bench.
Well, a lot of people know Max Rice as a 3-point shooter, but look, I mean, that's terrific. He caught the ball, kind of ripped it low, and just went baseline. So there was no help sign there. Just that quick first step right there. You try to find angles and holes as a player that's going to drive the basket. Max Rice saw that, took full advantage.
And Rice 1 off his season high of 9. He's got 8 right now. 9 Prairie View A&M on the 10th of December.
There's who they wanted right there.
Degenhardt defending Robinson, but Robinson with the teardrop drops it in. And this is his 17th game out of the 21 he's played with 15 or more points.
Stroke is so sweet, man. Wow, that's pretty. He's done that time and time again tonight. We didn't know how he was going to play with that bum ankle.
And key jab wide open for the layup.
Look, you're seeing Max Rice do a lot of heady things, man. Just made that play to the basket a moment ago. Now defense collapses on him. He makes a play for a teammate. It's unselfishness.
His dad described him as a ball mover today.
I mean, it's what he does. He knows how to get his teammates involved.
Robinson against Acott. Key jab comes over to help. Oh, fadeaway. And he uses the rim. And 2 more points. And Fresno State is hanging right with Boise State.
And I'm not sure there's a player in the country that can defend Orlando Robinson's turnaround mid-range. He goes either way with it. Goes to the left, he goes to the right, does on the baseline, does on the wing, in the center of the floor. Wow.
Key jab forcing his way toward the bucket. Now here's Rice, and Rice with a season-high 10 points.
That's 3 possessions, or maybe 3 of 4 possessions. Now Rice has made terrific plays, either for himself or for a teammate.
Fresno State threatening the 13-game winning streak of Boise State. Boise State can get 14. That'll be a new school record. Stroud can't make the 3 fall down. And Rice has the loose ball. And here is Kuzmanovic coming off the bench now, wearing 13 for Boise State. Good possession here for the Broncos. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Acott to Rice. Long 3. Got it! What a shot for Max Rice.
Rice is going off. 3-point shots, layups, assists for his teammates, putbacks. This is huge against a terrific defensive team in Fresno State.
Colomario to the basket. He scores. And it's a 4-point lead with 3:50 to go. That's 13-game streak, though. You look at some of the places that Boise State had to go and win on the road in order to rattle off these victories consecutively. Acott, no. Colomario with a rebound. Here's Hill, long pass to Stroud.
If you're Fresno State, it's not time to panic. I know things are going Boise State's way, but there's still a lot of time on the clock. Look, work it to Orlando Robinson, play off of him, because so much attention goes to him, it leaves other players open.
There's a whistle and a stoppage on the floor. We will take a timeout with 3:23 to go. Max Rice with a season-high 13 points, and he fires one from way downtown. Well, Boise State, the only team in the Mountain West without a conference loss yet, 16-4 overall. Wyoming, Cowboys still right up there at the top. Colorado State 6-2. They play each other on Monday. And Fresno State 4-2. San Diego State 3-2. Yeah, that's kind of a surprise.
It really is. And if Fresno State were to win here and go 5-2, they're right there, a half game behind Colorado State. They're in conversation as a team that can win the regular season. But again, we keep talking about it. Boise State's in full control. They go 8-0. Things are looking really good for them as they start to play teams the second time around. But you're right. Nobody expected San Diego State to be 3-2 right now in conference play.
UNLV goes into Fort Collins tonight and upsets Colorado State. So you just never know. The last time Leon Rice's team lost was November 30th against the Billikens of St. Louis in the Atlantic 10 Conference.
He's been sleeping well the last couple months.
He has. He's been living right.
Look now, Boise State has 6 fouls. you know, if you're Fresno State, oh, this guy can shoot.
And Robinson's got a three, and he's fouled, and Amish will foul out of the game. And for Robinson, this is the 7th game. He's had 2 or more made three-pointers this year.
Oh, my goodness. The 7-footer who's been eaten down low makes his second three, down 4 and 1. This is why he will be in the NBA. Orlando Robinson is incredible as a third-year basketball player at the collegiate level. Look at his face. I mean, he's willing this team to potentially win this game 3 minutes from now.
And it rolls in. It's Orlando Robinson's night. He ties the game on a rare 4-point play.
Incredible in the crowd now. I love it.
Boise State trying to set things up now. Shot clock under 7. Kijak spins around and cannot make the shot, and Fresno State a chance for a late lead.
Look, what I was trying to say before is Fresno State's in the bonus now. Every time they get fouled, they're going to the free throw line. They're a 75% free throw shooting team. That's terrific. You can get a lot of easy points at the line if they can just get fouled going to the basket.
Fresno State's got a bunch of fouls to give, only 3 team fouls. And they've got the lead. Calamario gives it to him with a 2-point bucket. And some pressure. Scoring run 8-0 in favor of Fresno State over the last 2 minutes. Rice. Kijak got it to Akon. Akon with a right hand, kicks it out. That shot short, taken by Degenhart.
Fresno has come alive.
And how big, Richie, is this possession for the Bulldogs?
Critical. This is critical. I mean, you can make this a 2-possession game if you do it right. Again, you're in the bonus if you get fouled. You get free throw opportunities. Take care of the basketball. Nothing silly to Boise State. They go on the other end.
Robinson kicks it out to Stroud. Now it's Hill on the miss. And another possession. Hill to the basket. And he runs over his man, Degenhart. That'll be an offensive foul. And Fresno State turns it over. Second foul called on Isaiah Hill in the basketball game.
I don't blame Hill for going for that too. But he found himself in a little bit of an awkward position. At 2 points here, that was 6 straight points and gave them the 2-point lead. And then the offensive foul here by Isaiah Hill, I believe it was. No, that was the 2-point shot. But, you know, I know Isaiah Hill's going to go back and watch the film and say, man, I wish I had pulled that out. We had a fresh shot clock. I could have pulled that out, wasted some more time off the clock, or even kicked it to the opposite wing for a more open teammate. But now look, you can't make one mistake turn into 2. Isaiah Hill's got to put that behind him, play strong defense here on Marcus Shaver because he's a clutch player, as we know, down the stretch.
Boise State now with their critical possession. And there is just 1 minute remaining in regulation. Fans on their feet here in Fresno. Shaver to the basket. He's fouled. And Isaiah Hill will be whistled for it. And Frazier will be going to the line.
Just talked about it. Don't make one mistake, turn into 2.
Marcus Shaver Jr., who has hit some clutch baskets for this team this year, is looking for some clutch free throws.
So he's looking for it. I mean, he's looking for an opportunity to get fouled going to the basket. And 2 of the last 3 games, Marcus Shaver's hit some big shots down the stretch to put them over the top. Now, just so you know the timeout situation, now Fresno State needs them. They've got 2. Fresno State 3. This crowd is amazing.
1 for 2 from the stripe. And what he hopes is not a critical miss in this game. A 1-point Fresno State lead. Now Stroud guarded by Aycott. A timeout is whistled by Fresno State as Justin Hudson wants to set this play up. They'll do it right now, and we'll see what it is when we come back. A 1-point game in Fresno. The second longest winning streak currently in the nation is in peril right now. Only Auburn has a longer streak than the Boise State Broncos. And the Broncos are also facing their first Mountain West Conference loss of the year, but still tied.
Now Fresno State, though, they're riding a 9-game home winning streak. They feel really good here at the Save Mart Center. Both these teams, two of the top 3 defensive teams in the Mountain West, and you can tell it. Points are very hard to come by, and they will be here down the stretch, too.
Got to figure the Bulldogs are trying to get the ball in the hands of Robinson, who's got his 10th 20-point game this year. There goes to Calamario instead, and a 3-point lead. Leo Calamario, 6'7" sophomore out of Brazil, has come up with a clutch bucket for Fresno State. And trying to answer. Kicks it out to Rice. And a foul as Holland ends up fouling Kijak.
It's a really smart foul. They had a foul to give. It's only foul number 6 right now. It's basically one-on-one. But I like this right here. So smart. All the attention on Robinson. He sees his teammate, Calamario, going down the paint, hits him for the layup.
So a 3-point lead, a 1-possession game. So Fresno State will call the 32nd timeout. Now Fresno State, 5 of the last 7 down the floor. Boise State has had a 3.5-minute drought. That's been a huge key down the stretch.
It really has. Now, look, if you're Justin Hudson there in the huddle right now, he's just reminding the basic defensive fundamentals of what got him to this point in this game. You know, sometimes down the stretch like this, you might try to really throw off the defense by switching, something that they haven't done a ton of in this game. Now they're up by 3. They have to make the decision with the shot clock turned off with about 5 seconds to go. Do they foul and put Boise State at the free throw line instead of giving them the chance to knock down a 3-point shot? If you do that, you got to rely on your rebounding on those free throws.
53-50. 2 timeouts left for Boise State, 1 for Fresno State. 1 more team foul for the Bulldogs puts the Broncos in the bonus. So Max Rice will trigger it. Stroud will guard the inbound.
Get to the basket. Don't need a 3 if you're Boise State. Attack, attack, attack.
Shot clock is dead. 15 seconds to go. Boise State needs a 3 to tie it. Shaver. No. Battle for the rebound, and that's going to go back to Fresno State. Boy, Marcus Shaver Jr. took a shot right into the table along the sideline. But Fresno State will come up with a almost game-saving play right here.
But you talked about how clutch Shaver has been. I'm sure nobody on that team didn't like that shot. This is a guy that knocks down shots at critical moments, but it didn't go their way. So now, with 4 seconds to go, 4.9, the only choice Boise State has is to pressure full court, see if you can get deflection on the inbound pass. If not, I don't even think you have time to trap. I think you have to foul immediately and put your bets on the fact that Fresno State may miss free throws.
Well, the officials are going to look at it. Of course, the crew, Randy McCall, John Higgins, Mike Reed. And they're taking a peek at it. I'll take another look and see what happened near the sideline. Was it Holland who touched it? That's what they're looking at.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
this looks like it'll be Boise State basketball, perhaps, at least from that look.
All right, so if that's off of Holland, now, if that's the look they have, I wonder if we can. I wonder if it got deflected after Holland had touched the basketball. So if you're in the huddles right now, what you're doing is you're talking to your players about both scenarios. Hey, look, if we don't have the ball this, if we do that. All right, look, does it go off White number 25's hand last? From there, it looks like it does. Like he knocks it out of Shaver's hands, and it last touches Anthony Holland, number 25 from Fresno State. If that holds true, that's Boise State's basketball. They have 2 timeouts left, and they're down by 3.
Still taking a look at it. We'll see what they decide here in a moment.
So if it ends up being Boise State's ball, the hottest hand right now for the Broncos is Max Rice. Okay, let's see what happens right here. This is a great angle. Okay, it's in Shaver's hand. I think it's probably off of Holland. And if it becomes Boise State's basketball, I bet you see Max Rice take the ball out. Remember, we saw it in the first half. He inbounded it. He got the ball back. The inbounder is the most dangerous player on the floor for a three-point shot. Look for it, Max Rice, to inbound it, find his way back to cutting to a three-point spot, because at this point in time, that's what you got to knock down. What's your take?
Well, from that angle, I agree with you. It looks like Holland, but typically when you see a review and it takes a long time, chances are you may see an overturn, but we will see. So again, the camera work here has been very good. It's just, you know, you've got to. Oh,
look at this. This is our camera crew. This is terrific. Does it touch? Okay, you can make an argument. You can make an argument. It touched Holland last, or did it touch Marcus Shaver's fingertips last? Okay, the call on the floor was Fresno basketball. Do you have enough to overturn it?
It's got to be clear and concise.
Oh, they're calling Boise ball.
They are turning it over. So this is pretty large for Leon Rice and crew. It'll be a Boise State possession. 4 9/10 seconds remain in regulation. Can the Broncos tie it?
If you don't get the look that you want, as Acott takes it out, if you don't get the look that you want, you still have 2 timeouts if you're Boise State. Don't have to force it.
And if you foul them, you put them at the line for a 1-and-1 if you're Fresno State. 3-ball on the way. Got it! It's a tie game! What a shot! Marcus Shaver Jr., big bucket Shaver, comes up with another clutch 3, and we are headed to overtime, tied at 53.
And the team that typically forces overtime oftentimes has the momentum to win the basketball game. Marcus Shaver with 3 clutch shots in the last 4 games at the end of play. It's a beautiful pass over the top of the defense, and it's the shot fake that got the defense off their feet. 1 dribble, that's a pro move right there. Knock down the 3-point shot off the bounce. That's gorgeous. And my question is, Fresno State got the ball right back. Didn't elect to even take 1 or 2 dribbles with a second and some time left, and heaved up a shot where you still had 1 timeout remaining. You know they wish they had that opportunity back, so they could probably draw something up and see if they can get a better look at the basket.
Well, for Boise State, they've been to overtime once. They're 0-1. Again, they lost. Their last loss was in overtime. That was to St. Louis on the 30th of November. First time for Fresno State in bonus time.
That's beautiful. It's just a gorgeous shot. Now, you know, a lot of people are going to say, hey, you're up by 3. You've got to foul him immediately. That's hard to do because Marcus Shaver is going for a shot fake. If you foul there, he's going to pretend like he was shooting it all along, and there's 3 free throws. Now, if they're dribbling the basketball, that's your opportunity to foul and then put him at the foul line and make him earn it at the stripe, and he only gets 2 max. But don't foul if he's shot faking or if he's looking for a 3-point shot. That'll give him 3 free throws if he misses it and gets fouled.
So a 5-minute overtime coming up. And when you've seen the results, folks who follow Boise State basketball, it's like at the end of every game over this streak, they've gotten everything they've needed to get, especially in the close games. And will they have enough tonight? They have enough to extend the game. Down 3 with under 5 seconds to go. Marcus Shaver Jr., another big bucket. And here we are, headed to overtime. We'll see what has happened with the conference standings and what they'll do tonight with a change. Boise State comes up on the wrong end of the score for them. They go 7-1, but looking to go to 8-0. Fresno State looking for their 5th win. Justin Hudson has done such a good job here. 15 or 14-5. If they were to win this, this would be their best start since the 02-03 season.
Wow. Well, they won 10 straight that year as well at home. Now look, Boise State is such a veteran group, an older, experienced group. they make that clutch three-point shot. They're forcing overtime. I guarantee you they're feeling a little more confident going to this extra 5-minute period. But look for Orlando Robinson to continue getting touches in and around the basket for Fresno State.
In this overtime, no Milad Narmish for Boise State. He's fouled out. And Orlando Robinson still with 3 fouls. And Boise State wins the opening possession of overtime. Abu Kijak, spotted by Holland. Here's Max Rice back to Kijak. Shaver to Rice along the baseline, kicks it out, wide open look, and this one is good. That rattles in. What a shot by Tyson Degenhardt.
You can tell how connected this team is. The way they move the basketball, they move without the ball, they hit each other in the right spots, and they knock down that three-point shot. Everybody touches the basketball.
Robinson, he doesn't get that one to go. He's had almost every other one fall for him. But that one did not go for Orlando Robinson. 21 in the game for him. Colomario, a career-high 11. Scored 10 against Fresno Pacific back in early November. And on the way to the bucket, Aycock fouled.
So you're seeing some defensive breakdowns here now by Fresno State. But this is that possession just a moment ago. Everybody's touching the basketball, coming off ball screens, ball reversals. There's 2 ball reversals. There's a 3rd ball reversal. Top of the key. This is just terrific basketball, man. I love when teams share the basketball. And this experienced team with 6 seniors on the roster, man, they gel together so well. They play amazing on the offensive end and defense. Look at their statistics.
Boise State has 39 points of their 57 from three-point land. So we know what they came in here to do. Here's Stroud, and that's an offensive foul whistle against Deion Stroud.
It's forced. Yeah, I see Fresno State, I mean, we're a minute 10 seconds this overtime period. They have not found a good look at the basket yet. And I understand what Stroud's trying to do. Was that Degenhardt that took the 3? Degenhardt? It's fantastic. Stepping in the right place, right time.
Stroud, the Fresno native, transfer from UTEP. Turns the ball over on the offensive foul. His first foul of the game. The jumper is good. Shaver with another.
Fresno State has 0 confidence right now. Look, they've given up 7 points in a minute and a half. They only gave up 53 in 40 minutes. They're just not there. They seem a little deflated going into this overtime session. They can't find it. They can't find it going offensively. Defensively, they're struggling right now. And another player control foul. How about this performance by Boise State?
That's the 5th foul on Robinson.
What a blow. Look at this defense. Degenhardt. Is that 2 player control fouls in this overtime session for Degenhardt? On the offensive end, Shaver, and man, this crowd was just electric about 5 minutes ago. It's like the air has left the building.
So Orlando Robinson will sit down for the remainder of the ball game.
Boise State's in full control. Fresno State's not the same team they were at the end of regulation.
Second time he's fouled out in the game. Fresno State 1-0.
How is this possible? They've given up 9 points in 2+ minutes of play. They only gave up 53 points in 40.
14 points for Marcus Shaver Jr. As the guard, senior out of Phoenix, and a transfer from the University of Portland, getting it done to tie the game. And getting it done here with a left-handed lay-in to add on and make it a 9-point lead.
This is the difference between an older experienced team who's experienced success and a younger team who's on the verge of experiencing success until this season when they started to. Now they go up against this older, experienced group who forced overtime on them when they basically had the game won. It was just a tick away from winning the basketball game. The game gets forced into overtime, and mentally, I don't feel like Fresno State has gotten over the hump. They haven't played good offense. They haven't scored a bucket here in the overtime. They've given up 8 points in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, which is not characteristic of a Justin Hudson team, one of the best defensive teams in the country. And Boise State's just rolling all over them, taking complete confidence after forcing overtime, and they're just having a dynamite overtime session here to take complete control, trying to get to 8-0 in conference play.
Largest lead of the game now at 8. Abu Kijab. You go back to the last game Tuesday against the Wyoming Cowboys. He had a very balanced attack, both offensively and defensively.
He scored the final 7 points for Boise State that game, and then he took a charge here, made some great defensive plays. Kijab was everything for that win against Wyoming on the road just a couple of days ago.
61-53. Really the guy who's been the standout for Boise State, Marcus Shaver Jr., who has scored in single digits 3 of his last 4 games, but in 16 of 21, he has now scored in double figures. So again, a 14-point effort so far, and no bigger shot than that game-tying 3.
Well, Fresno State's got to find where are they going to get points from. Who's going to score the basketball for them? Anthony Holland, Isaiah Hill. They've got to get buckets, and they've got to get some in a hurry.
And Hill with a three. Isaiah Hill and a straight-on look.
The second bucket of the night.
Fresno State is not dead yet. There's a steal and a take back and a foul.
We just talked about Isaiah Hill needing to get involved. It's the second bucket of the night, but we know he can fill it up. We know he can knock down shots. He was away from the basketball, catching it in stride, and then defensively they turn it up. See, that timeout did a lot of good. Coach Hudson called that timeout. They come out, they bury a 3, and now they get to the free throw line. And keep in mind now, both these teams are shooting free throws every single time they get fouled. And again, Fresno State 75% from the charity stripe. If I'm them, I'm looking to attack, and see if I can get that free throw line and get some easy buckets or easy points.
Foul was on Acott, his second. Well, here come the Bulldogs. They'll make it a 3-point game. They just knocked off 5 points off the largest lead of the game. 61-58, and again some full court pressure. Acott forced into using a timeout.
Great job by Fresno State. See, now we're seeing Fresno State basketball again. Defense has been dynamic here since the timeout was called. Forced a turnover, got to the free throw line. Now look at this. Campbell's all over Acott, making it very difficult. Looks like Holland's going to come to a little trap, and then boom. Got to burn one of their timeouts. Expect to see pressure if you're Boise State. I mean, Fresno State's going to take it at you, going to come at you for the rest of this game.
Well, both teams have a lot to compete right now, coming back from 8 down in overtime. They got it to 3. Fresno State with a lot of compete.
I mean, it looked like Boise State was just running away with this game, didn't it?
Well, they take care of the ball. They've only turned it over 7 times.
Knocked down. A lot of guys knocking down shots, 3-point shots. Marcus Shaver getting to the basket. He's been dangerous, both from the outside and to the rim. Weather the storm if you're Boise State. If you're Fresno State, you just keep coming at them defensively. Bring waves to them. Make them burn another timeout because it looks like you're going to trap them and they can't handle it.
Degenhardt hands off to Marcus Shaver Jr. He'll slow it up, bringing it across the half-court stripe. A little over 2 minutes to go in overtime. Rice charging. He'll lay it up. And Holland gets the rebound for Fresno State.
Lots of time here. Catch the ball, drive downhill if you're Fresno State.
Donovan Yap with the basketball to Holland, whips it to the right to Hill.
Don't have that inside presence. They're going 5 out.
Outside for 3. And the rebound and the putback. Jordan Campbell. It is a 1-point game, and the Bulldogs can tie it at the line.
Are you kidding me right now? Boise State rattled off 8 straight, and now Fresno State, if they make this free throw, they've rattled off 8 straight. I love this putback. Nobody really put a body on Campbell, and look how fired up he is. I love this intensity, man. You saw that same look from Orlando Robinson at the end of regulation when they were making a comeback.
Jordan Campbell, the transfer from Oregon State. He was there his freshman year. 4th on the team in points. Looking for a crucial one. And it's a tie game. 61-all in overtime.
I love it. They're still going to pressure, especially Akot. They want to pressure him full court and make his life miserable. Great job by Campbell.
Fresno State on an 8-0 run after Boise State got out to their largest lead of the entire game. Jab fouled as he goes to the basket. Campbell got it. Under the 3rd on Campbell.
Jordan Campbell, 3rd personal foul.
This is good. Pick and roll. Shaver to key jab down the paint. And everybody's taking 2 free throws for the remainder of this game.
Key jab. Dips, shoots, hits. Hijab's dad calls Leon Rice Lion Rice.
I think that would be a compliment, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and Abu was telling us that story today. And great big smile on his face. He was so happy this morning. As the Broncos are now out to a 2-point lead on 2 free throws from Abu Kijab.
I think this is a great timeout by Leon Rice. The crowd's back in it. Fresno State just scored 8 straight before you got fouled. And now you're calming everything back down. You're bringing your team together, and you're talking about defensive assignments. You're calming your older experienced group down. And you're telling them, look, play solid defensively, keep them outside the 3, make them take tough contested 2s or 3s from the outside, and let's give them one opportunity. Make sure you block somebody out. Don't make the same mistake you made a moment ago when Campbell got the putback in the and one. Block everybody out. Give them one chance. You get the ball back, and you got full control of the game.
Saw those numbers on Leon Rice. And when he was an assistant under Mark Few at Gonzaga, but he really learned a lot about being what the head coach can be. And since taking over the reins at Boise State, he's just won. Still up for grabs tonight in Fresno. Under a minute to go. We are in overtime as Campbell drives to the basket and looks for the backdoor cut. Trying to find Colomario, and it's out of bounds. Turned back over to Boise State.
I like what he's trying to do. He's trying to lead his teammate to the basket, but those interior passes in traffic oftentimes don't work. See if Fresno State can get it back with this full court defense, man-to-man.
Boise State is in the double bonus 10-team fouls for the Bulldogs.
Nobody's on the ball.
Hijab gets to wind some time down with 18 seconds on the shot clock.
Gotta play solid if you're Fresno State. Give him one chance. One chance.
There's Rice. Hijab off to Akot. 6 to shoot. Got it! Big shot, Emmanuel Akot.
Clutch. Clutch.
Acon with a big night.
I like it. I like it. Nobody wants to foul in that moment. Take it to the hole.
66-63. One possession game here and a full court to go. Nearly a steal.
Got a foul for Fresno State.
Hagenhart trying to play keep away, and he is fouled. Emmanuel Acon, who has come up very large, 16 points tonight for the Broncos.
He's so versatile, gets the basket, can shoot these three-point shots, plays point guard for him. Such a weapon. But you got to guard him off the ball screen, go over the top of that ball screen, and take away that three-point look.
With that one. Boy, free throws on the road in conference play are so important.
Yes. So the same thing's going to happen here. Let's suppose, make or miss, let's suppose Fresno State gets the basketball. Boise State doesn't want to foul. They don't want to give you a chance at an and one. Go the ball down the floor and get you an open layup if you can. Push it down the floor. You're likely going to go uncontested. Get that layup.
2 possession game, 9 seconds left. And Yak cannot make it go. And Boise State is going to extend their winning streak to a school record 14 straight as they come back down 3 with 4.9 seconds to go. Marcus Shaver Jr. hits the clutch 3 to tie it and send it to overtime. And Boise State goes on the road to win it 68-63 to remain unbeaten at 8-0 in Mountain West play.
You got to be, really impressed with Leon Rice's squad. 14 straight wins. They've taken complete control of the Mountain West Conference. They've gone on the road and gotten some really difficult wins. The heroics by Marcus Shaver, and you can see the relief on Leon Rice's face right now.
Your updated conference standings. Broncos now 17-4 overall. Fresno State 14-6, 4-3 in the conference, but those are your top 4 teams right now in the Mountain West, led by Boise State.
Yeah, and I really like Justin Hudson's squad. I think just came up a little bit short against seemingly the best team in the conference right now. Really great basketball game. This was a lot of fun tonight.
The Leon Rice's Boise State Broncos extend their winning streak to 14 here in Fresno against the Bulldogs. For our entire crew here in Fresno, California, and my partner Richie Schuler, I'm Tim Neverett saying good night from the Central Valley. Final score, Boise State 68, Fresno State 63 in overtime. You've been watching College Hoops on FS1.